BuzzFeed News. Listen to TikTok, listen to us. Last Friday, BuzzFeed reported that despite assurances from ByteDance that information gathered about users in the US is stored in the US, China-based employees have repeatedly accessed non-public data about US TikTok users. What?
Stunning.
What?
I can't believe this is happening.
No! No, ByteDance! I can't believe it!
No one would have guessed. No one saw this coming. We've been blindsided. Whatever will we do?
The leaked audio recorded 80 internal meetings with China-based employees through last fall to the new year. In one of the recordings, a member of TikTok's Trust and Safety Department is quoted as saying, "Everything is seen in China." What?
Stunning.
No!
How would we have predicted this?
ByteDance! How could you? Sorry.
Brandon comes in and investigates. He's like, what's happening?
It's worth remembering that back in 2019, the U.S. government...
It's like baby monitoring alarm is going on. Is everything okay here?
The U.S. government began investigating TikTok's Chinese ownership's national security implications, and a year later, the Donald threatened to ban the app. Many of the recorded meetings focus on TikTok's response to that threat and their Project Texas, which would redirect protected data away from China. ByteDance is negotiating a contract with Oracle to hold Americans' data in Texas, but what that protected data is still being negotiated. The recordings indicate it would not include public data, so profiles, posts, etc. Discussion question. Thank you, Jonathan Horst. How should countries regulate foreign social media platforms like TikTok or even Facebook? What sort of impact could substantive geographical data regulations have on the internet?
Massive ones.
I mean, basically, the global internet as we know it could pretty much cease to exist. I mean, we're already seeing this happen. This already exists.
Yeah.
Countries with essentially closed internet borders, their own, I mean, would you call it an intranet at that point? I mean, on that scale, I guess it's still an internet.
Yeah. There's massive, substantial impacts from doing this type of stuff. I think it's inevitable at this point, personally. I think it's going to happen. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think that users will rebel. I think that much like in China, where VPN use is just considered, if you're willing to run the risk anyway, just part of life. I think you'll just see people VPN their ways out to, watch the BBC or participate on.
But I think there's going to be some amount of effort to start kind of setting up fences, because I think like if we look at the war in Ukraine right now, one of the most immediate responses that happened against Russia was this just volley of cyber attacks into Russia. Some coming back out for sure, but like it was definitely mostly going into Russia.
Yeah.
And one of the immediate threats that people were concerned about coming out of Russia was Kaspersky, right?
Yeah.
Russian developed antivirus software. People immediately got very suspicious of that. That's going to ramp up moving forward if I was a betting man.
Right.
And softwares and services and stuff developed in different countries that start becoming antagonistic with each other, whether that antagonistic nature becomes war or not.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of irrelevant. Like we're seeing this with China and the US right now over TikTok, right? They're not at war, but they're not exactly friends, right? And they're getting highly concerned about data and people using each other's applications and stuff like that. And sure, China has the firewall up, but countries that have more open policies and standards when it comes to the internet don't. But I don't necessarily think that's going to survive. I'm not saying it should die off or it should survive. I'm not saying anything like that. I don't think it's going to survive. That's all. Yeah, Kaspersky is currently banned in the US. I think stuff like that is going to continue. I think it's going to keep going.
Floatplane Chat suggests can country area network. Yes, we can.
Oh boy. Yeah, and I mean we're seeing like mini versions of it, right? Like government and education institutions in Canada have to work with applications that store data in Canada.
Right.
Have to.
Right.
Which is very difficult for small startups because having like data silos in every single country you want to sell your software in can be difficult and expensive.
Oh yeah, that would cost a fortune.
Yeah. So like it's very difficult. It's one of the ways that like during the pandemic when a lot of things went remote, Teams like blew up.
Yeah.
Because Teams has this ability to have data silos in countries. They had that already because there was already these regulations in place. Just a lot of places didn't really care or use it way too much. But then when remote work exploded, Teams was already very well positioned to do that.
Right.
And certain other companies that didn't have that capability sort of fell off a little bit, or at least didn't have the same gain that companies that did have that capability had. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Cybersecurity is like a huge deal, and I think countries are going to start getting more and more concerned about it moving forward.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to XSplit for sponsoring this week's clips. XSplit is perfect for content creators or businesses, and you can save 10% off with code Linus using the link in the video description.